Hey, welcome back to the ongoing 2026 private mentorship. Today I'm going to be breaking down classic textbook Model 4 mechanics along with a trade recap on today's live streamed 121 point banger. Now, before we get into the actual technicals, here are the stats in the last 30 days of me trading live in front of all of you. $7,000 in the slowest month of the year. Here is on a day-by-day basis. Now, this is what true consistency looks like. Notice I'm not trying to gun it super hard in the slowest month of the year. I'm actually using lighter risk than I do in spring, summer, and fall. But consistency still pays me significantly through the skill set of trading alone. Notice how I'm not trying to fake a lifestyle, trying to keep up with this fake image and, oh, here's my Lambo and all this stuff. No, I live a very modest life. I own everything, and that is it. I don't have to keep up with any of that. $7,000, I can deal with that on a monthly basis and still be comfortable and live the life that I want to live. So I guess the point being here, guys, is success in trading is nothing like what you see on social media. All of it is fake. I mean, almost all of it. You don't have to be some rich millionaire to be a successful trader, okay? You start consistently compounding your equity, and as time goes on, you gradually just make more and more money. And if you just stay on your own path, block out the noise, and do not rush your progress, allow yourself to truly develop, you're going to eventually be just like me, where I'm just casually making money in my old paychecks in one singular trade consistently and paying my bills. So with that said, let's hop into the market mechanics now, okay? So purely going off in the checklist, this is how you frame a classic textbook Model 4. So we had the basic market structure mechanics backing us to, lean towards bullish Model 4s, right? That being, we came down, we swept out a key daily low here, right? Simple as that. Does not get more simple than that. We come up off of that, right? Strong reaction off that daily low, and then we manipulate right here at 9:30 opening, create a failure swing. Meanwhile, ES came down and actually swept previous daily low. Following that, we have a huge reaction off of that low, and this is when I begin hunting for key opposing highs in the market, and that just so happened to be this specific wick high here. Why this wick high? Number one, it's your previous daily high. Number two, your New York session is 9:30 to 11 a.m. Here's 9:30. Here was the high that was created. This was left unfulfilled. You want to look for these 9:30 wick highs, and if they're left unfulfilled, a lot of times they're going to come back for that if there's narrative and logic. These are one of the strongest draws on liquidity, especially for model number 3 and 4. Now, to add on to that, what makes this draw even stronger is this new week opening gap, Sunday gap opening price just above that. Okay, inefficiency within the high quality time-based high here. So now that we have all the narrative outlined here from the higher time frame basis, now it's time to look for this Model 4. Why? To find our footing in the market and have a proper stop loss placement to actually ride it out. And it all starts with this 9:30 opening right here. Okay, if you look at your checklist, you'll see a crucial part of it is manipulation below the 9:30 or the midnight opening price. In this case, we manipulated below midnight, and here's 9:30, huge manipulation down below that, putting in that SMT divergence. From there, we expand with great speed. This is step number one to any high quality model number 4. We manipulate below the 9:30 opening price. This is your classic textbook false breakout. And then we get solid body candles to the upside. But that wasn't enough for me just yet. So to keep it simple, wait for manipulation below the opening price, wait for solid body candles in the direction of your draw and liquidity, and then you find the market mechanics of model number 4. What does that look like here? Well, continuing going off of that checklist that I supplied you guys with, here are your solid body candles on the 15-minute time frame right here. Solid body candles, do we shift above that? Yes, we shift above that with great speed, the opening price. That is our change in the state delivery or engulfing bar, whatever you want to call it. Now, this change in the state delivery only matters because we're delivering out of that classic Model 4 gap. So the Model 4 gap, for those of you that don't know yet, that is going to be a basic fair value gap formed on the 15 hourly or in highly volume markets, the 5-minute chart, but mostly the 15 in the hourly. So here's your Model 4 gap confirmed. After the 9:30 manipulation below the opening price, after we tap into that Model 4 gap, we then create the change in the state delivery. So all stars are aligning here, correct? This is when I truly drop down to my 1 minute time frame and find my confirmation entry. So here's the model 4 gap delivered. Inside of that model 4 gap delivery, this green box, do we have a FOMO candle of death activation point? Yes, indeed we do. The FOMO candle of death activation point, it had to be identified on the 30-second time frame today because volume and movement was just way too ridiculously fast that the only lows that were generated were right here on the 30-second chart. So this here was the first and most significant swing though that was created after this huge barrel up. We come down, we offset that. That's your FOMO candle of death activation point. We have everything that we need. The final piece of this puzzle now is finding a time-based confirmation entry. And we're going to find that 99% of the time on the 1 minute chart. Here is a time-based displacement here, and I'll get into the time element in just one moment. All right, so this right here is your classic textbook light bulb expansion. Why? Because we ran up with a higher time frame changes day delivery and created not one, not two, but 3 fair value gaps in the market. This is your textbook entry for a Model 3 or a Model 4. Now, what makes this specific multiple gap expansion so significant is the fact that we're utilizing this 10 a.m. hourly candle opening. Okay, so the hourly candle opened up, we manipulated slightly beyond that, and then finally get our expansion right here just above that 10 a.m. opening price. So if you look back at your hourly chart, you'll see that very clearly. Now all there's left for us to do, now that we have everything that we need, how many more boxes do you need checked, right? So you enter here. Our target was what I gave on stream, that 930 time-based high, and your stop loss goes right here. 2 reasons why this stop loss placement is so crucial. Number 1, it's covering all 3 gaps, right, in the candle low that created the first gap. Number 2, it's also covering that Model 4 gap as well. Now, on a standard basis, as long as your stop loss is covering where you entered on the multiple gaps, below all those gaps and it's low, you're going to be just fine 90% of the time, okay, if it's a good setup. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. There's no need to overcomplicate. This is everything that went into today's trade. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. Keep on grinding. Keep on going towards your goals. You got this. I promise you. And there are many, many, many opportunities for us to seize in the year of 2026. I am very excited, as should you be. Peace.